My fiancé declared the wedding was cancelled and insisted on keeping the ring. I replied, "If that's what you want." Then my attorney sent her an invoice for her portion of the non-refundable wedding expenses and evidence that the ring was a family heirloom. Suddenly, she wanted to discuss things. I'm 32, male. Let's say my name's Ethan. I was on the verge of becoming a 32-year-old husband. The wedding was set for 6 weeks from now. 6 weeks. Venue booked, caterer selected, deposits paid, obviously. Even Sarah's fixation, those handcrafted lavender jam favors, was already packaged. So, last Tuesday, I'm in the middle of a work presentation when my phone vibrates. It's Sarah, 30. I step out, expecting a minor wedding hiccup. "Hey, what's wrong?" Her tone is flat. "Ethan, I can't go through with this." "With what?" "My presentation's almost done." "The wedding, us," she interrupts. "I can't marry you." My brain short-circuits. I think I muttered, "Wait, what?" Because it was so surreal. "I'm serious, Ethan," she says. "It's over. I'm not happy." Felt like a punch to the stomach. I found an empty meeting room and slumped into a chair. "Sarah, what's going on?" 6 weeks out, everything's paid for. "What's this about?" "I just can't," she says, vague as ever. "It doesn't feel right." Vague, vague, vague. Years together, a future planned. Gone in a puff. Then the kicker. "And just so we're clear," she says, her voice suddenly sharp, almost smug. "I'm keeping the ring. It was a gift. My friends say it's mine. The ring. Not just any ring. My great-grandmother's Victorian-era sapphire ring. A century-old family treasure given with the expectation of marriage. Appraised at over $15,000. But its true worth is sentimental heritage. The nerve of it. One moment to destroy our life, the next to claim a family relic like it's a trinket from a vending machine. Something in me shifted. The pain was there, sure, massive. But a strange, icy calm took over. "If that's what you want, Sarah," I said, my voice steady. She seemed caught off guard. Maybe annoyed I wasn't begging. "Oh, okay, good," she said. "I'll arrange to pick up my stuff." "Fine," I replied. Call ended. I sat there for 10 minutes, staring into space. Then I called Ms. Eleanor Hayes, my family's lawyer. Let's call her Ms. Eleanor. Not for breakup advice, but for a calculated response. Sarah thought she could walk away with the prize after blowing everything up. She was in for a surprise. Update. Alright folks, 1 week after the bombshell. Thanks for the support on my last post. Glad others saw her audacity for what it was. So, Ms. Eleanor. She's small. Looks like she'd knit you a scarf, but has the legal instincts of a lion. Exactly who I needed. I explained everything. The abrupt cancellation, the financial mess, and the heirloom ring. Ms. Eleanor listened, jotted down precise notes, then flashed a grin that said, "This'll be interesting. Mr. Ethan's last name," she said smoothly. "Conditional gifts, joint liabilities. Miss Sarah has miscalculated." A few days later, a formal letter arrived at Sarah's new address. She's staying with her friend Rachel. Certified mail, signature required. Inside, an itemized bill for her share of the non-refundable wedding costs. Venue deposit, $10,000, her half $5,000. Caterer deposit, $4,000, her half $2,000. Photographer retainer, $2,500, her half $1,250. Honeymoon flights and non-refundable resort fees, her half $1,500. Miscellaneous, flowers, invitations, etc., her half $500. Total she owes, $10,250, due in 15 business days. A detailed section addressed the ring, with copies of my great-grandmother's will designating it for my future wife upon marriage, notarized statements from my parents about its history, family photos of my grandmother and mother wearing it at their weddings, and the appraisal documenting its value and lineage. The message. The ring was conditional on marriage, which she voided. Return it to Ms. Eleanor's office within 10 business days. Within 48 hours, the chaos began. Sarah's texts flooded in. "What is this, Ethan? Are you kidding me? I know you wanted to save me. The ring was a gift. It's mine." I stayed silent, per Ms. Eleanor's advice, all communication through her. Then the calls Sarah ignored. Then her mom, Linda, left a voicemail. "Ethan, dear, this is a misunderstanding. Sarah's devastated. This legal nonsense isn't you. Call off your lawyer. That ring looks so beautiful on her. It'd be such a pity. The gall runs in the family." Next, Rachel, Sarah's best friend, took to social media with cryptic posts about toxic men and snakes in disguise. One post showed Sarah's hand, ring glinting, captioned, "Some things are forever, no matter who tries to steal them. Hashtag unshakable, hashtag my girl deserves better." The entitlement was unreal. Then, an hour ago, Sarah left a voicemail, her voice shaky, less confident. "Ethan, my lawyer says this is absurd, but this is getting messy. Can we just talk before it gets worse?" There it was, the "let's talk," when she realized I wasn't just rolling over. I texted back, "Any discussions go through Ms. Eleanor. She's available to meet with you and your attorney." Her reply, "No, Ethan, just us. Please. I thought we were more than this." A brief pang of old feelings hit, but then I recalled her cold tone, her grab for the ring, her disregard for the financial mess she left. This isn't about what we were. It's about her facing the consequences. I'll meet her, but on my terms. Public place, daytime, Ms. Eleanor on speed dial. Update 2. The meeting happened yesterday, a bustling cafe, Saturday morning. Plenty of witnesses, easy exit. My rules. I recorded it on my phone's voice memo app. Legal in my state, one-party consent. Ms. Eleanor's advice, don't commit to anything, just listen. Sarah was there first, looking exhausted, less defiant. More my choices are catching up. She managed a weak smile. "Ethan, thanks for meeting me," she said, stirring her cappuccino too much. "Ethan," I said, sipping plain black coffee. "This lawyer stuff, it's so cold, so aggressive," she started. "You ending our engagement 6 weeks out over a 2-minute call and claiming my family's heirloom felt pretty cold and aggressive, Sarah," I said calmly. Hit. Her eyes teared up. "I know I messed up," she said. "I was overwhelmed." "So your response to being overwhelmed was to keep a $15,000 ring that doesn't belong to you?" I raised an eyebrow. "It was mine," she insisted, voice breaking. "You gave it to me. Everyone says it's mine. Giving it back is humiliating." "It was given for a marriage you canceled," I said. "My great-grandmother's will is explicit. And the wedding costs, we agreed to split them. We have emails, texts, a shared doc." She slumped. "Okay, maybe I owe some of the money, but not all. That honeymoon? You wanted that fancy resort." Correction. She picked it after weeks of scrolling travel blogs. "Sarah, you approved the resort in our planning doc," I said. Her expression hardened. "My mom says you're just being spiteful, trying to hurt me." "This isn't spite. It's responsibility. Your choices have costs. Cue the tears, real ones, I think." "But Ethan, I don't have $10,000. I just leased that new SUV." "Then, the ring means so much to me. It represents my family's legacy, Sarah, and it's for the person I marry." That came out sharp, but it was honest. A flash of anger in her eyes. "So you're already planning to replace me?" "I'm protecting my family's property and my finances after you ended our engagement." She tried a new angle. "What if I return the ring, and you drop the money demands? The bargaining?" "No, Sarah. Those are separate. You owe the money for breaking our shared agreement, making us both liable for non-refundable costs. The ring comes back because the marriage didn't happen." "No deal," she scoffed. "You're so stubborn." Her phone pinged. A text from Rachel. She glanced at it, then glared. "Rachel saw your car. She says I shouldn't be alone with you, that you're bullying me." "Bullying? By asking for what's legally mine?" "Sarah, come on." Then her final card. "I was so stressed planning the wedding. You weren't always there for me. That stress made me realize I couldn't do it. So, really," she leaned in, smirking, "it's partly your fault. You should cover more of the costs." My jaw nearly dropped. "My fault?" "Sarah, I agreed to those lavender jam favors that cost more than my first laptop. If I wasn't supportive, it was by not calling out your budget-busting ideas. A small outburst, my mistake. But the audacity." Her smirk faded. She stood, chair scraping. "Forget it. I'll talk to my lawyer. You won't get a penny without a fight, and you'll have to sue me for the ring." She stormed out, leaving a half-finished cappuccino and a puzzled barista. Any fleeting doubt about pursuing this? Gone. Her entitlement was staggering. She truly believed she could cause havoc and keep the rewards. Linda called my parents later. My mom told her Sarah was acting foolish and should return the ring and pay up before I took her to court. Dad said Ms. Eleanor was top-notch and Sarah should listen to her own lawyer. Rachel's online campaign ramped up. More cryptic posts, DMs to mutual friends calling me a villain, jokes on her. Most know I'm about as threatening as a wet towel. They're seeing her true colors. The talk was a disaster. Now we wait for her lawyer's move. Ms. Eleanor's thrilled. I'm exhausted but determined. She wants a fight? Bring it. Final update. Well, folks, it's been a few months, and what a journey. This saga had more turns than I expected, but we finally reached the end. After our cafe confrontation, Sarah's lawyer, a smooth talker named Mr. Thompson, responded with a letter that was pure deflection. He claimed the ring was an outright gift, ignoring our proof, and argued wedding costs were traditionally the groom's responsibility. Straight out of the 1950s. He even hinted Sarah felt pressured by me during planning. Pressured because I questioned her $200 per plate menu ideas. Ms. Eleanor shredded his arguments in her reply, reiterating our stance with more evidence, including a sworn statement from a jeweler I'd consulted before proposing, who recalled me emphasizing the ring's family significance. She set a firm deadline, 10 business days to return the ring and propose a payment plan for the $10,250, or we'd file. Team Sarah went all in. Rachel's social media smear hit overdrive, edited texts, a private group called The Real Ethan S. It backfired. Friends saw through Rachel's obsession, sending me screenshots and support. Some infiltrated her group to post the full context. Priceless. Then, Linda emailed my HR department, vaguely accusing me of erratic behavior and financial coercion. I'd already warned my boss, so HR dismissed it as a personal matter with no basis. Sarah's brother, Mike, a burly guy, called, puffing himself up. You think you can sue my sister and take her ring? You're in for a surprise. I calmly said threats would be reported, along with the recorded call, and all communication must go through lawyers. He muttered and hung up. I filed a police report for the record. Ms. Eleanor was my rock. Let them flounder, Ethan. They're only making it worse. The deadline passed, no ring, no payment plan. Ms. Eleanor filed small claims for the $10,250 and a civil action for the ring's return. The sheriff served Sarah at Rachel's apartment. I'd have loved to witness that. Suddenly, Mr. Thompson was much more cooperative. Court papers have a way of changing tones. He called Ms. Eleanor, admitting Sarah hadn't realized the reality of court dates, bailiffs, credit damage, or liability for the ring's $15,000 value if she lost or damaged it. Her legal fees were mounting, and Linda and Rachel weren't footing the bill. Negotiations were quick. Thompson tried one last pitch. Sarah's very attached to the ring. Could Mr. Ethan's last name let her buy it for its appraised value? Ms. Eleanor, per her delighted recounting, chuckled. Mr. Thompson, that ring is invaluable to my client's family. It's not for sale, especially not to the woman who caused this ordeal. Now, about its return and the settlement. The resolution. The ring was returned. Sarah, with Thompson, met Ms. Eleanor at her office. Ring handed over, verified by a jeweler. Intact. Correct. Seeing it back in its box wasn't joy, but deep relief. My mom teared up when I showed her the money. Sarah agreed to pay the full $10,250. Thompson pushed for a discount. Ms. Eleanor held firm, citing Sarah's unnecessary drama. Sarah's paying in 2 installments. First cleared last week, second due next month. Rumor is Linda co-signed a loan. Tough break. The fallout. Rachel's hate group disappeared. Sarah's allies went quiet once she had to pay and return the ring. Real friends stood by me. The rest got cut. I ran into Sarah at the store recently. She saw me, paled, and practically sprinted to another aisle. Good. What's next? I'm moving forward. The wedding fund's now a condo down payment. My family's thrilled the heirloom's safe. I'm reconnecting with friends. There's some sadness, emotions don't just vanish. But Sarah's entitlement and deception killed any lingering love. I don't care if she learned anything. She faced consequences, and that's enough. My revenge wasn't about ruin. It was about fairness and protecting what's mine. Mission accomplished. This was a brutal lesson in trusting people's true colors and hiring a stellar lawyer. Thanks for following my story, folks. Time to start a new chapter.